I'm back! So hello there, welcome to part 2 of my PS3 game collection. If you've just stumbled across this video and you haven't seen part 1, go check it out, I'll link it below and then you can always come back here to view the rest. So where did I leave off? I've unboxed this on my channel, so you may recognise it if you've been here a while, and that is Castlevania The Lords of Shadow Collection. And this, I still think like this is one of the nicest steelbooks ever. I really wish more games would do something like this. This is effectively like a Game of the Year version, but I don't know if it won any Game of the Year awards, so they can't call it that. But it comes with all of the DLC and the original game. I really don't know what to say about this game other than the fact it's brilliant. I know for a lot of Castlevania fans out there who grew up with the franchise probably didn't take to this too well because it is so different, but I think as a general platformer action style game it's brilliant. I loved it. I originally played it on the 360 once again, so when this was announced, or when I was able to pre-order this, I thought it was perfect because it was a game I intended on buying for the PS3 anyway. I recommend it. I think it's one of the better platformer games of that generation, but that is just my humble opinion. If you're into God of War and that sort of game, then this really is up your street and you should try it. Now onto its lesser counterpart, Lords of Shadow 2. This is fucking shit. I really didn't like this game at all. I was incredibly disappointed. The storyline was a load of nonsense. It was poo-poo. By comparison to this, they got it so wrong. And I think this was the start of Konami's downfall. And it was poo-poo. I don't recommend it. Don't buy it. If you've got it, burn it. Sorry, I got a bit emotional there. Next up, it is most likely one of the greatest games of all time. The Last of Us. Honest to God. Anyone who hasn't played it yet, what are you doing? This game has got so much depth to it. It is like playing a movie. And I think I've said this before. I felt like I was playing a movie. I felt like I was in the movie. I felt like it was my life or something. You can watch other people's videos on YouTube about how, you know, The Last of Us changed my life, or why The Last of Us is a groundbreaking this, that and the other. And it's all true. Everything people say is true. So I'm just going to leave it at that. Right, we're going to do these 3 consecutively, and that is the Resident Evil games. Resident Evil 5, the Essentials collection, was actually the essential version of the Gold edition. Yes, so, sorry, there you go. Gold edition, Essentials. Brilliant co-op game. It really is. John loathed playing it at one point because when I start playing a game with John, I really enjoy it and I want to play it all the time. But I really do think this is a brilliant co-op game. Is it a brilliant Resident Evil game? Probably not. I'm not really the person to ask. I'm not a Resident Evil aficionado. But I do recommend this game if you want to play something with your boyfriend or your girlfriend or a close friend during summer holiday or something, you know, I don't know. You should play this. That leads us on to Resident Evil 6. So we bought 6 with the intention of playing it on co-op, and we just haven't done it yet. I must admit, Leon's campaign is okay. Actually, no, Leon's campaign is the better campaign. I like Ada's campaign as well, but Chris's and Sherry's, they are like too similar. I felt like I played the same campaign twice, but maybe that's just me. Anyway, again, as far as co-op's concerned, I don't think it's as good as 5 because it drags out for so long. And as a Resident Evil game, no, it isn't a Resident Evil game. The cover might say so, but the content isn't. And that leads us on to Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City. There is so much hate for this game, but I really enjoyed it. Again, I thought it was quite fun on co-op. Is it the best third-person shooter in the world? No, it isn't. But there are plenty of elements about it I do like. I like how every individual character has got different attributes. I really liked using... Who did I like using the most? I know John liked using Vector the most. I think I liked using Berta, because I just like saying Berta. No, Lupo, actually. I liked Lupo. Did I like Lupo? Actually, I liked all of them, to be honest with you. Actually, that's a lie. I didn't like Beltway that much. I think, really, this is a game worth playing, even if just the once. This is the sort of game that really maybe could have made its way into a movie or something. I don't know. There's a lot about this that I think they got right, but the way it performed wasn't at its best. Maybe that's the best way I can put it. I don't know. Next! Again, this is one that I unboxed on my channel, so there really isn't much to say about it. The collector's edition of Final Fantasy X and X-2. This is from North America. There was no collector's edition for the UK, so I bought this on eBay from some guy. But as you can see, it is an all-region game. The only thing I'm still yet to do on X-2 is... oh, what's his name? Down at the bottom of the Vivel Temple, there is some impossibly hard boss that even to this day, even on PS2 copy, I couldn't beat him. And I'm still to do it now. But I've still got the limited edition UK copy of this as well, but it's not here because I lent it to John. And they're just games that I will never get rid of. That's just the long and short of it. Next up, 2 games I've never ever played, and that is Disgaea 3 and 4. So I've not played Disgaea 4 because I've not played Disgaea 3, and I haven't played Disgaea 3 because they took so damn long introducing the trophy support. And then by the time they introduced it, I was playing something else, and then I tell myself I will play it one day, and I don't know when that day will be. But yes, so I've got the Disgaea games, but I don't know what they're like. Next up, we'll do these 2 together as well. That is White Knight Chronicles and White Knight Chronicles 2. I've not played White Knight Chronicles 2, but the confusion there being it includes a copy of White Knight Chronicles. So you're wondering, why have I still got a copy of this? Because I don't really know. I really like White Knight Chronicles. It's weird. I can appreciate that it might be a hard game to get into because it's a little bit odd as far as RPGs go, and it's not crystal clear what you're supposed to do, where you're supposed to go, what the end game is, what the whole point of it all is. And I must admit, I don't really get the storyline, I've not paid attention to it, but I enjoy it for what it is worth. Next game, John bought me Wolfenstein, and I played it for a whole of about 20 minutes and I liked it, but I found myself playing Wolfenstein The New Order instead, so this is okay. Not brilliant, but okay, and I will get around to playing it again one day. So that's why I've kept it. Next up is a bit of bittersweet story. It's the Prince of Persia games. I finished The Sands of Time, but I got to the Warrior Within, and the problem with the Warrior Within is that there is a glitch. And some people are lucky and don't get it, but I was unfortunate to have this glitch occur on me. And it's basically in one part of the game, you've got to turn like a wheel to like release a stream or something, and the actual wheel, the actual thing you've got to pull is not there. There's nothing for the prince to grab a hold of. It's gone, it's vanished. So I'm hoping there's an update that has fixed this, but I haven't tried it. So all in all, apart from that one glitch, they're still pretty good. The mechanics work really well, and I can't compare them to their originals, but I enjoyed them. I'm glad I've got them. They were games I always had every intention of playing but didn't have them. Actually, my brother had them and wouldn't let me borrow them or something like that. But yeah, that's one of the ones I have. Next up, we have the forgotten Batman game that no one seems to remember ever happened. Batman Arkham Origins. It was actually developed by Warner Brothers and distributed by Warner Brothers. But I'll be honest, I didn't see a great difference in the game, in the style of game itself. It was very much an echo of Arkham City, which I think is my favourite. I loved Arkham City. And there just wasn't a lot of heart in this game. That's what the problem was. But I do recommend you getting a hold of it if you can. I think you can even get a hold of this as part of a triple pack for Batman Arkham Asylum, Arkham City and this. But now that you've got your Return to Arkham PS4 nonsense, it might not even be worth you doing that. But yes, it's an okay game. It's not the best Batman game, but I wouldn't say it's dreadful. Next up, we've got another game I've not played a great deal of, but I did enjoy it, and that is Rune Factory Oceans. Truth be told, I got this at the time because it was a PS3 only game, and once upon a time when I was playing the Xbox 360 a lot more, I didn't have many games for the PS3, so I wanted to justify buying a PS3 by trying to buy as many PS3 exclusives as I could, and this just so happened to be one of them, and it's quite cute. I think if you're into JRPGs and these cute little games, much like the Atelier and all that sort of stuff, then you should get it. If you can get it cheap, go for it. Next up, we are going to look at Borderlands, the pre-sequel. Not played a lot of it. I must admit, I've not played a lot of it, but I didn't like the zero gravity thing. It made jumping so difficult, and you had to stay in certain places for oxygen, and no, that bit I could have done without, if I'm quite honest. But what I did play, I was a little bit not overly taken back. I think I was so happy with Borderlands and Borderlands 2. I just assumed I'd enjoy this as much, and honestly I didn't find myself thrown into it as much as I thought I would be. So that leads us straight over to the Borderlands 2 Game of the Year edition, and I've got this because, again, still yet to 100% get everything. There's so much on these games I haven't done, but I love them so much. I love them so much. They are brilliant co-op games. I really do recommend getting them for co-op. They do support split screen, or at least I think they did. Yes, they do support split screen. But all in all, I really do think it was very worthy of a Game of the Year edition. I enjoyed playing this more than I can describe. Next up, we've got another Classics HD thing. Silent Hill 2 and 3. Two brilliant games. I can't believe it took me this long to play them. Again, I originally played them on the 360. I had the 360 version of this, and I 100%ed Silent Hill 2, and I 100%ed Silent Hill 3, and I was one achievement off Silent Hill 2. And that was getting like the maximum stars so I could get the green hyper spray. That's all I'm missing. I'm only missing the green hyper spray, and that is it. Everything else I did on Silent Hill 3. So yeah, brilliant games. I think if you've played Silent Hill games before, you know it's brilliant. If you've never played a Silent Hill game, really, honestly, once you just get over the initial scariness of the game, they're really not that hard to play. I think I played Silent Hill 2 like 8 times over the course of 2 days, as in start to finish, because once you know how to finish it in 2 hours, then you can just keep on playing it, keep on playing it, keep on playing it. You remember where everything is. It's brilliant. As for the running, like how it runs, I think it's fine. I didn't experience any issue with it. It's a pretty good port, at least I think so. Some of you may disagree, but I saw no problem with it. That leads us on to Silent Hill Downpour. I think this got mixed reviews, I'm not sure, or at least Silent Hill fans out there were probably split down the middle by this game. I really liked this. Yes, okay, different. Everything was different about this game. Was it a true Silent Hill game? Maybe not a true Silent Hill game, but I think a welcome addition too. It explores a different part of the town, or a different part of the terrain surrounding it. I enjoyed this. I think the suspense in this game was pretty good. The monsters, I'm not going to lie, I do find them terrifying. Whenever I encounter one, I still hold my breath. They really are. And I think Daniel Litch's music, so Daniel Litch, he made the music for Dexter. His music for this, I think it was so fitting. I don't think Akira Yamaoka's music would have necessarily reflected the theme of the game if he had done the music for it. So Daniel Litch's music was brilliant. The guy, the main character reminded me of like Ashton Kutcher or something. It was really weird, but he was good. The characters, I really did appreciate them as characters. I think our protagonist was brilliant. Annie, or Anne, whatever her name, Anne Cunningham, the policewoman, she was good. And then I forget the asshole's name, but he was a believable asshole, if that makes any sense. If you are a Silent Hill fan but you haven't played this on some sort of principle, you need to get over yourself and just play it. I really do think it's good fun, and it's got some good puzzles in there too. So that brings us on to a game that I am yet to play once again. This is actually a Christmas present from last year, so Christmas 2015. And that is Drakengard 3. Don't be fooled, I know the blue strip usually means PS4, but it is in fact a PS3 game, which is a bit strange. And as you can see, it's also in region all. So I'm not sure whether that means there was a limited release of this game. I'm not too sure about that. So I can't make any recommendations for this game. All I know is that it's a spin-off. Actually, no, sorry. Nier was a spin-off series of this. Because I like Nier, I assume I'm going to like this. But I know it's got something to do with dragons, and that cover art. I mean, if we were to go back to the days of buying games based on their box art, I think I definitely would have bought this back in the day, long before YouTube anyway. So that's another one sat in my collection. So with that being said, that brings us straight on to Nier. Again, please go watch my 360 video and I will talk a lot more about Nier in that. But again, I loved it, I liked it, I liked and loved it. So this is another game that I really enjoyed the first time around on the 360. So it felt only fitting to get it on the PS3. This was another gift, actually, a Christmas gift. However, I played it on hard difficulty and it was a lot harder than what I remember. So I had to stop. I just couldn't cope. So I'm going to have to start again on a normal difficulty. Only bummer is it's region 1. Finding this on region 2 now is very difficult. So I'm just going to have to stick with this copy for now. So that's all there is of the standard copies. Now we're just going to move on to some of the boxed limited versions that I have. This is another game I've unboxed on my channel, so I will link it down below, and that is Painkiller Hell and Damnation. This is actually, I do believe this is a port of a PC game. I'm not too sure about the origins and the history behind this game, I must admit, but I really liked it. The music for this game is rad. I even have it on my phone and I'll just be sat on the bus listening to this music. It's awesome. It reminds me of like Black Label Society. That's pretty much it. I think he's like a Mexican Zakk Wylde, I think. I don't know what it is. It's freaking awesome. And it's just a first-person shooter. It's very old school in its design. Like, you know, skeletons with knives and shields and things like that. It's good fun. I've not progressed very far into it, but I really do like this game. Next up is another Tales game. It's Tales of Grace's F. I'm not too sure what the F, or I'm not sure what that symbol even means. I know is it like pi? No, it's not pi. Oh, I don't know. Infinity? I don't know. Does that mean infinite? I'm not sure. Anyway, so yes, this is the special PS3 port, because I was unaware at the time that this was indeed a DS game or a portable game of some description. I did not know that at the time of buying this, so when I started playing it I didn't notice that everything was small. Like, all the characters were like chibi and cute and the penny didn't drop. But this is brilliant. I think if you haven't played Tales of Graces because you don't have a DS, then just you can get this copy and enjoy it in all its entirety. And as you can see, it comes with like music and DLC. That's it. It came with DLC and stuff like that. So this was reasonably priced at the time as well, if I'm right in thinking, but I'm not too sure how widely available it is. But if you can get a hold of it, then please do, especially if you're a Tales fan. Next up, another game that I have unboxed here on this channel, so you'll be pleased to see that I've still got it, and that is The Evil Within. Rad game. I really do think it's probably one of the better horror games of this generation. And I'm not including like all these indie horror games you get on Steam and things like that. I'm meaning like big AAA releases. It is very good. And if you get to play it and you think, oh, it's too scary, I wouldn't be able to play it. Oh, just grow a pair. It's really good fun. Last two now, and I might as well just do them together. Another pair of games I haven't played. I bought them with all the intention of playing them, and it didn't happen. And that is Agarest Generations of War. And this is Generations of War 0, and this is Generations of War 2. And I do believe they are similar to like Disgaea. They're kind of like turn-based strategy sort of things. And I'm into that. I like the idea. I just haven't got around to playing them, and I bought these particular copies because they are special editions. They come with like a poster and art cards and all that sort of thing, CDs. And they were dirt cheap at the time. I think I got one of them from Argos of all places. And they were brand new and sealed, good condition, as they should be. So yeah, I just haven't got around to playing them, but I'm sure they're good fun, and I'm just very lucky to have these versions. So there you have it. That is all of my PS3 games in their entirety. I didn't actually count how many games there were, maybe you did. Are there any games in that collection that you haven't played before and you want a bit more information about them? You can always leave a comment down below. If you enjoyed this video, then do give it a thumbs up. That lets me know that you enjoy this sort of thing, and I may even go on to do more videos like this one, including other consoles. Hit subscribe and turn the notifications on. That way you'll be notified when I make another video, and then that way you won't miss out. But as always, thank you so much for watching. Bye!